So you've been working really hard and you finally got that big promotion, or that business that you started, it's finally taken off, and all of a sudden you have a team that now reports into you. Now, you're used to doing things yourself, you're a little bit of a lone wolf, but all these new responsibilities, they start to load up. The more you do, the more unsustainable it all becomes. The late nights, the stress, you're just being stretched too thin. And this is where Law 7 of the 48 Laws of Power really comes in. Now this one's titled, Get Others to Do the Work but Always Take the Credit. But there's a little bit more to this one. But what this one is really about is learning how to lead. It's about how to delegate tasks, how to influence people while still delivering results. So in this video, I'm going to tell you why it's really important to lead and learn how to delegate, and then how to actually do it. So at first glance, this law feels really selfish and unethical. But when you take it a little bit deeper, what it's actually trying to tell you is that you can't accomplish great things by yourself. You need to learn how to lead teams of people to accomplish all the great things that you have planned. What this boils down to is you need to learn how to leverage the strengths of the people around you. You can't just be taking credit for their work, you need to learn how to motivate and influence people to work with you to accomplish great things. Now, in every team, there are roles, and the role that you are taking here is the leader. What that means is you need to learn how to build effective relationships with the people around you. You need to learn how to motivate and influence them to help you accomplish all these great things. Because when you have the support of the people all around you, you're going to be able to achieve incredible things together as a team. In terms of applying Law 7, there are 5 key principles that are going to help you lead better and delegate tasks in a more beneficial way for both you and your team. The first is knowing your team's strengths. Now this one's really important because you need to understand how to delegate effectively by understanding what people are good at doing and what they aren't. You need to work out very quickly what tasks can you take off your plate and who are the right people to pass them to. The thing that you want to avoid here is the mismatch. So this is where you are providing, say it's a strategic piece of work with someone who isn't really good at strategy or doesn't really enjoy it. The right fit here is putting the strategy work with the people that excel at strategy work or the people that want to develop the skills to get good at it. At the same time, this is also about understanding weaknesses. So in the example I gave before, you don't want to be giving the strategy work to someone who isn't really good at it and isn't wanting to develop it, but also you're wanting to make sure that the person that you are delegating the work to is going to do a good job. You don't want to have to micromanage this person or have to do the work yourself at the last minute. The key to delegating here is giving it to a safe pair of hands who can complete the work and allow you to focus on other pieces of work that require your attention. The second principle is give clear instructions. It's really important here when you're passing work over to people and entrusting them to complete it, that they are very clear what they need to do. They understand what the acceptance criteria is, what's required to succeed. This is really important that you set your expectations and you communicate them very clearly. This helps both you and the person that you're delegating to. The last thing that they want to do is provide something to you that isn't what you wanted, let alone to be confused by what you actually really want. So help both you and that person out by being really clear what you want them to do, what it needs to look like at the end, and how together you can succeed in accomplishing this task. The third principle is motivating your team. It's really important that you understand what gets them out of bed, what excites them, what are the things that they take as a reward. A lot of people it's money or recognition, but sometimes people have other aspirations. It can be development opportunities. They can be rewarded in more flexible working arrangements. What you need to do to motivate your team is understand what rewards them. How do they get the message that they are doing a good job, that they are achieving, and they are motivated to keep working with you to accomplish these incredible goals that you're setting out to do? The fourth principle is give credit where credit's due. Now I know what you're going to say, that this one is actually a little bit counterintuitive to the actual law where it's saying that you should be taking all the credit. But it's a fine line here. You don't want to be taking all the credit and giving nothing to the people in your team. You want to be ensuring that you are taking credit for leading the team because ultimately you are accountable for what that team delivers. But you still need to be recognizing the things that people are doing in the team, the hard work or the great analysis that someone has done that's contributed to the team's goals. You need to be recognizing that both in the team and more broadly too. Now, a lot of people worry that when you recognize someone in your team and the hard work that they've done, that you're somehow diminishing your own recognition and reward in other people's eyes. And that can happen, but it's not always the case, because what you want to be positioned as is a leader. No one expects you to be doing all the discrete tasks. They expect you to be leading a team of people to be doing these tasks. Success for you is accomplishing the goals. It doesn't need to be you doing all the individual things, but you leading a team that can do all those individual things. Because as you get further and further up the ladder, it's less about what you actually do yourself, but what you can lead others to do. You need to be leading teams that accomplish great things, not just all of it resting on your shoulders. The last principle here is being a leader and not a dictator. We all know people that fall into this bucket. You give them a little bit of power and it goes a really long way. And you don't want to be one of those people. You don't want to be bossing people around and micromanaging them. You want to be inspiring, leading, and influencing. You want to be motivating your team to work together to achieve a common goal. You don't want to be telling them, hey, do this. Oh, you need to do this thing. You want people to be all on the same page and identifying additional things that they can be doing to get the team to the goal. That's what true leadership is really about, and that's how you and your team are going to be the most successful. So that's a wrap on this one, guys. It's all about mastering the art of leadership and delegation. And the way that you're going to do this with your teams is working out what people's key strengths and weaknesses are, giving clear instructions, working out what motivates your team, giving credit where credit is due, and most importantly, being a leader, not a dictator. And if you want to watch a really great video on why you need to stand out, click on this one.